Hi, everyone. I'm Paul with MadCap Software. Welcome to video number 6 in our series on learning and development in MadCap Flare. So part 6, what we are going to get into in this video, we're going to be talking about navigation and design for your e-learning output. So what I'm talking about is, if you remember back earlier in the series when we looked at the output from the template, it didn't have a major menu on one side or off the top. So we're relying on navigation at the bottom of the pages. And this is a toolbar that lets you go from one page to the next, back and forth. And so we're going to talk about putting that in, as well as how it looks. And we are also going to talk about other design elements, other ways to control how everything looks. Meaning your styles, your style sheet, and we're going to take a look at just changing out the branding, your colors, your images, your logo, all of that. And then finally, I'm going to wrap up by talking about, even though this project template we're looking at is what's considered skinless, we're going to talk about what it's like to have a full skin and how to create this, how to remove that, if you start out with a full skin, how to remove that and go to a skinless output. So that's what we're going to cover. We're going to begin with the navigation with the toolbar, with the e-learning toolbar. And so let's get after it. All right, so let's begin by taking a look at the navigation in our e-learning course. And the best way to do this is to go back to the original output that we first looked at earlier in this video series to see what's being used and what's not being used. So this is the first page of that e-learning course. And what's not being used is what we call a main skin, the big skin, which would normally provide navigation at the top or on the side, either the right side or the left side, that basically shows your TOC, those menu items from your TOC. Instead, on this first page, I just have this simple link, and you click that and it goes start course. And now we've got navigation. Down here, we've got this toolbar with these previous and next pages and this progress bar that shows you what page you're on. And this toolbar is used on all the pages of this course except for this first page. And also, this particular course is the combination course where it's knowledge checks and then a test at the end. And the test ends with the automated test results. And that test results page, that doesn't have that. But otherwise, all the content course, the knowledge checks, the quiz, they all have this. I made a conscious decision not to include it on the first page. And the reason for that is if I had included it on the first page, it's fine to do that. But if I had, this previous button would have been disabled. And I thought, well, I kind of like it better to have this page being unique and, to not have a button that doesn't do anything. And so I decided to put it on all the other pages. So we're going to take a look at how you get this toolbar and how to control its look. So let's go back into Flare and start running through that. Okay, as I said, that toolbar is on the vast majority of the pages, all but the automated one at the end and the very first page. And so anytime you have content or a feature like that, that's going to be on a bunch of topics, a bunch of pages, you want to use what's called a template page. It's here in the Content Explorer under Resources and then Template Pages. And this project template came with 3 of them. And I'll explain why we have 3. You might have a project that only has 1, or you might have lots of template pages. It all depends on your situation. So the reason why we've got 3 different template pages in here, this first one is for the first page, that unique page. And if I open this, you're going to see what a template page looks like. It's in the XML editor. It's the same as writing in a topic, but you're going to have inevitably proxy toolbars like this gray one down here. And this one just has one proxy toolbar. And what this is, it's a placeholder for your topic content. So in your topics, you've got header and paragraphs and images and stuff. So when you generate the output, that stuff's going to replace where this gray bar is. And then you can add other content above or below the body proxy, and you can position it, upper right, lower left. There's all kinds of ways to do this. And so that content will show either above that topic content or below it. Now, in this particular page layout, I just have this header up here. So you recognize the header from the output with the logo. And then this is from the body proxy right there. And then that template page that I was showing you is for this page. So there isn't the toolbar proxy below that. It doesn't have that. There's nothing. And so the reason why I have this unique template page is because I do have this unique section in here, which you see the color in here. That's just that's a condition on here. But if I actually, I selected the wrong thing. That I was turning off markers. I'm turning off conditions in the main editor, so that you only see them in the structure bar on the left. It's this button down here. And so now you can see the big hero image in the text. So this is a unique page, different from all the others. I'm going to turn that back on. And now if I go to course topics, this is the one that's used for most of the pages. And again, it has that header up in here with the background and the logo. And I've got my body proxy, but I also added an eLearning toolbar proxy. And I'll just delete this for now, just to show you how this gets inserted in there. So it can be a little bit tricky when you are working around these proxies, because you click in here and your cursor, the cursor will be horizontal like that. And what I usually do is I'll use my down arrow to get where I want to go, and it just moves through these tags until it gets down to where you want it. And you see, the structure bars on the left are highlighted according to where you are inserting, where your cursor is located. And you can see that this particular proxy, I just undid that change. It's within this div tag. So if I want to put that in there, so I am moving my cursor with using my arrows until I'm below the body proxy, but I'm in that div, okay? And then I have a choice. I can either go to the eLearning ribbon and I can select eLearning toolbar proxy, or I can go to the insert ribbon. And way over here on the right, there's lots of proxies. And the eLearning toolbar proxy is here too, in addition to a whole bunch of others that you could add to things. So people will add things like menu proxies and breadcrumbs proxies, things like that. So I am just going to use this eLearning toolbar one and select that, and it will bring up this dialog, which is saying, hey, you can associate this with a skin. So a skin is the thing that's going to let us control the look and feel of this. Now, I do have one in here. It was already added to the project template, and I could select that. If you just have one in here and you don't select anything, leave it on default, it's going to use it. If you add lots of other, it says skins, but it's actually, technically it's a skin component. It's like a little skin, little tiny baby skin. And if I added lots of these, well, then I would definitely want to go in here and select it. So in this case, because there's only one, either I leave it as default or select it, doesn't matter. It's going to use it. And I select OK, and there it is. That's how you get the thing inserted. It's pretty easy. I'm going to save my change there. Now, this last template page in here, if you go back to the output and we start going through it, we have this one feature in here. I got to move through these to get to that page. It's this one where I have these topic pop-ups. And so these topics that show up in here, I wanted them to have a unique template page behind them that wasn't the same. I didn't want the header at the top. And so I created this special template page for the pop-ups. Well, in our case, we decided to remove that. So we don't even need this template page anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it. There's no point in keeping it in there. It'll just kind of clutter things up. All right, so I've got my 2 template pages, and I use this proxy to insert it. Now, so we're going to get it. We're going to get that toolbar at the bottom of those pages. Later on, when we get into the target, I'll show you how we tell Flare, hey, these topics should use this template page, and the other topic should use the other template page. That's how it knows what to put in them. But for now, we want to skip over to the project organizer and look at the skins. And in here, you can see this project template comes with 2 skin components, little tiny baby skins. eLearning, that's our toolbar, and test results. That is for when you have a quiz at the end, how to customize that page. Now, to add these is really easy. You right-click, add skin, and this dialog is going to come up, and there's all these kinds of skins in here. And these are the main skins I was talking about before, where you have the major navigation, and we don't have one of those in here. And there's all these other little skin components for various reasons. And the one that we are using here for our toolbar is this one, the eLearning toolbar. And I could name it whatever I want, and then click add. I'm not going to do that because we already have one, and it's here. This is our skin component. So if I want to change the look of that, again, going back to our output, well, you could change this in a variety of ways. Well, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I kind of like the look of this. This is cool with me, but I want a different color because as I mentioned in an earlier video, maybe blue is the color that's associated with this. That's the brand that's associated with this project template, but maybe mine is orange. And so I want the background color, and I want this progress bar to be orange. And I'm looking at the page numbers and I'm thinking, I could make those orange too, but that might be a little hard to read. So maybe I'll just make those black. Okay, let's go back into Flare. Let's open up this skin component in here. And there's a neat trick. So you get your styles. There are 3 tabs. There's setup, there's styles, and there's UI text. All right. So setup allows you to say what things do you want in this toolbar? And already previous topic, next topic, and progress bar are selected. Let's say I didn't want progress bar. I could click that to delete it or remove it, and it would move it over to the left side. But we want it. So I'm just going to undo so it's there. Styles is how we control the look and feel. And UI text is labels, like the previous and next text in these, and the alt text and the tooltips. You can control that from there. So let's go into styles. And what I want to change is that blue. Now you get this preview over here, which is really nice, and it's dynamic. So it changes when you make your changes. You look over on the left, this skin component's not that bad. There's not that many things in here. It's pretty easy to see what's what. But I do want to show you a cool little feature in here, and that is this highlight button. And so this is especially useful when you get in some of those main skins that have a lot more things over here on the left than this does. But you select that, and now I can click in here. Like I want to change that bar right there. I'm going to click it directly on that, and it's going to highlight this inner progress bar over here. So it's zooming in over here on the left to, this is the thing you want to change. And then I go, okay, what's under that background? Select that. There's the blue. All right. So I am going to swap out this color, and doing this is really easy. There's a variety of ways you can do it. You can click this drop down and select a color from here. You can select this more colors box and, enter in a hex number or RGB numbers, or select named color. There's all kinds of ways to do this. So we usually work with hex numbers. Graphic designers are really great at getting you this. If you have a graphic designer and your company probably has some hex numbers, that your company uses, and that's what I do. I replace the hex number. The other thing you can do is there is this pick screen color. This is really cool. You click on that and then you hover over something. Like if I wanted this right here over that text, that dark blue, and it changes down there. So that's kind of a cool thing. What I'm going to do is I have an orange color that I have in mind that I want to use. I'm going to go get that and be right back, and I'm going to paste it in here. Okay, so I went and I found my hex color that I want, and I'm actually just going to click in this field and highlight that and press my Control V keys on my keypad, and I got that bullet in there. I don't want that. I just want this pound and that number right there. And if I click off, you're going to see the orange. And then if you look over into the preview window, yeah, it's orange. So that's really cool. Now, the next thing I wanted to change was this page number. So I'm going to click directly on that. That highlights the progress text. And what did I want to change? I wanted to change the color to black. So in this case, I'm just going to click that drop down, select black right there. And sure enough, it changes over on the right. What else did I want to change? Well, I wanted to change hover buttons, and that's pretty easy to find up here. Tool button hover, and I go background. There it is. Once again, and this is using the gradient, so I could change it to use just a solid color. I'm just going to do this real quickly and paste in my color, and again, that used that bullet thing. Let me see. All right, and then I click off of that, and there it goes. So I will be able to see in the output when I hover over it, it's going to show that. And I think there might be one more thing, a border right here. Yeah, the border is using that too. And so I could go in and select these. So there's not too many fields to go through here on this, just to make sure, but I believe I got them all. Everything that I wanted to change. And of course, I could change other things. I could change the font family and, lots of stuff. But that's all I'm going to change. And I am going to click Save. And that is going to do it for the toolbar. And it's just set. And then I won't have to mess with that again. So we are going to now move on to the next section where we're going to talk about that test results page. And later on in another video, we're actually going to build the output from all these changes that we're making in all these videos. And we're going to review these changes that we made, both inside our topics, the question sections, but also the look and feel, this toolbar. And we're going to recall, oh yeah, we changed that in the skin component. So that's going to do it for this section. Let's move on and look at the test results page. Now we've looked at the toolbar. The other part that we want to control the look and feel of, this special element, is the test results page that you see at the very end of a quiz. Let's go and check that out. So I could have gone back into that original output and gone all the way to the end to look at the test results page, but we're actually going to see it in the preview in this skin editor. So we're going to do that. Now, there are a couple parts to this. First of all, this particular project from this template is using this default page, the test results at the end. So it's not like there's a topic in here that has that stuff in it, that has a proxy or anything. We're just using what Flare provides, which is really, really nice. I actually like that. If we wanted to, though, we could create a couple of one or two special topics in here that we call maybe pass and fail. Either one topic or two, depends on what you want to do. And in these topics, so let's just actually, I'm going to delete this, but I'm going to create one for now. And let's just say this is pass. All right. And so there's the topic. And what you would do is there is another proxy. There's this test results proxy. And again, it can also be found here in the insert ribbon under proxy, way down at the bottom, test results proxy. And you insert that thing. Let's insert it from here, test results proxy. Same thing comes up. Skin file. Do you want to associate this with the skin file? And yeah, this project template already has one, has a skin component set up. Again, if you have multiple ones, you definitely want to select this. If you only have one, you can leave it at default and it will insert that. And so this will be used for your test results page if you associate the test node with that. And remember, from a previous video, we had our TOC with our test node. And when we go in there and we look at the properties, and there's this pass page and fail page. So you could click that and you could link to that, right? I'm going to cancel out of that. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to use flares because I like it. But this would allow you to put any content in here that you want. But I'm going to go ahead and delete that. We're going to use, and the same thing with the fail page. You could either point to the same page if you wanted to use the same page for both, or, you know, separate, two separate topics. But in our case, we're just going to use what's behind the scenes. But we do want to use this test results skin component to control the look of it. All right. So again, you would, if you didn't already have one, you'd right click and say add skin. And that would be, it's this one, HTML5 component test results. And you would add that in there. And you open that, and it's going to be similar to the other one that we looked at for the toolbar. You get, first of all, this setup tab where you can say, you can select which options you want to include in these test results, right? And by default, all of these are selected. And you can just kind of look through here. And if you don't want to include one, you don't have to. I'm going to keep them all. I like showing all of that stuff. The styles tab, you come in here and you look through it. So this is why I didn't care about looking at the output, because this is a nice preview that shows us what's going on here. And this shows you all the possible things that you could see in the test results page, depending on the situation. And I'm looking through here and I'm going, okay, I like that. I could change the look of any of this stuff if I wanted to, but I'm looking through there and going, I like it. I like all that stuff. I'm not going to change any of that except for this, except for the title right there that people see. I want them to see the course name, and we're not doing blue. We're doing this orange. And so I'm going to select my highlight thing and go here, and there it is, title, and we'll go into font, and there's the blue. And let me go grab real quickly my orange that I want to use, because the font is pretty big. It shouldn't be too hard to read this, hopefully. We'll see if it is. That's not bad. All right, so there it is. So that's how easy it is to change that. Once again, lots of other possible things you could change. That's all we're going to focus on for this. So that's the test results. And as long as you have your TOC with your test node, and it goes to the last question, that toolbar, remember the toolbar had previous and next as the buttons. Well, the last button in there is going to change to complete. And you click that, click the complete one, and then you get the test results. Voila, you got it. So that's how simple it can be to control your test results page. All right, so now we're going to move on to another section where we're going to concentrate more on the design of the content, meaning images and colors, all that good stuff. Okay, so the next thing we want to talk about is the design for content. And remember, this is part of the basic 5 steps, whether you're creating e-learning output or help system or anything. We already created our project, we added some content, and now we're just kind of moving into this design part. So we're on step 3 of the overall, process that you use. So what do we want to change as far as the design of the content? Well, in an actual situation, there's a lot, and you're going to be changing things in possibly in multiple files. You're going to be changing things in skins, maybe, which you've already seen that we've done some of that in some little skin components. Your style sheet for your content, that is where you're going to be doing a lot of design work. You are also maybe going to, for print output, adjusting page layouts, things like that. What we're going to do is, and then just swapping out images also, like your logo, and depends on where the logo is. And on some projects, it might be in a skin, or it might actually be in a file. Like in this project, we've got it within a snippet, which is inserted into some page templates. So we're going to look at changing out the logo, changing out that hero image on the first page that showed the view of Austin, Texas. We're going to swap that one out for one that is about San Diego. And the brand colors, we've already done a little bit of that, changing the blue to orange, but there's some other places where we want to change that. Okay, so let's begin now by looking at the logo. Got a lot of stuff open here. Let's click this and let's close it. And so the logo, remember I said in some projects it's going to be in your main skin, but we don't have a main skin. We did do this project template a little bit differently, and we put it in these template pages. And if I open up one of these, you're going to see it's in a snippet. Now, before I actually change this, open this up and change it, when you have images that you want to use, you want to bring those images into your project when you're changing them in content files like this. And I already went ahead and did that ahead of time. I've got a few down here. You can see they start with SD, SD hero print, SD logo. That's the one we want to swap here. So how do you get these images into here? Well, there's a couple, ways that you could do it. You could go to your project ribbon and you could select new image, and that's going to bring up a dialog where you just go select the image and click add, and it'll just bring it in there. And you could do that. That's fine. I actually like to just open up Windows Explorer and go to the location on my computer where I've got the images. And then I will go to the location where my project is. In this example, it's in Documents, My Projects. I just called this one My Project 5. And you just go, you think, okay, where are my images? This replicates the folders, the sections that are in the project. So content, that's your Content Explorer. Project, that's your Project Organizer. And then there's these other folders in here that are used for other purposes, Analyzer and Output. I'm going to go into Content. Remember, it's in Resources, Images, and you can see that I've already pasted these San Diego ones in here. And we still have the old Austin ones. And when you're all done with your project, you could go and clean this out, and you could remove the images that you're not going to use anymore. So that's simply how I got mine into this project. And you can see they're in here. So now to swap out this Austin logo, this is inside a snippet. And I know this because I click on that and really nothing happens. And I can tell by the structure bar that's in a snippet. And I put it in a snippet because I've got two template pages and I wanted the header and both things. So I'm going to right click this. This is a quick and easy way to find your snippets. Now, your snippets folder over here, it could get really long and you could have nested folders in here and you're thinking, wow, I got to go find this thing to open it. No, it's inserted in this topic. So you just right click it and select Open Snippet File, and it will open it right there. So now I can click in here and do stuff. And I am simply going to right click on this and select Image Properties, and it brings this up. And this will show you up in the top part, the things that you already have in your project. It immediately goes to Resources Images, which is the default area where most people will put their images, or in subfolders inside there. If you don't already have it in here, another way to get it into the project is to click this browse button, and then you can go find it and select it, and it'll bring it in. That's another way. But I'm just going to go here, find SD logo, and this will bring, you'll see a preview over on the right, but this particular logo is really light with, white, a lot of white in it. And so it doesn't show up here, but you'll see it because we've got this, oops, I accidentally clicked that. Go in here, and we have that blue background. And so it will show up there. It's just that here, it's not going to show up because it doesn't have that blue background in the preview. So, and you can add things to images like alternate text and screen tips. That's just a general rule whenever you're inserting images anywhere. This is our logo. I'm just going to select this and click OK. And there it is. It swapped it out. It used to be Austin, Texas. Now it's San Diego. I save it and I go look. All right, there it is. It's in that course title template page, and it's in my course topics 1-2, which is using the same snippet. It made the change in both places. So that's how easy it is to change out the logo. If you happen to be working in a project where the logo's in the skin, it's the same thing I showed you before. You open up the skin, you click on that highlight button, you click on the logo in the preview, and it'll take you to where it is, and you just change it out. All right, so that is the logo. Now, the other thing that we want to change is that hero image. If you remember back on the first part of the first page of this, we have this big image in here, and that's called the hero image. And so we want to change that out. And typically, hero images are pretty big. And if you just wanted to change something out that was about the same size as this, well, the easy thing to do is go into your project, and you can look at, so this is the hero image that is there. It's in there in the resources images. And you can right click on that and select properties, and it will bring this up, and it tells you 1500 pixels by 500 pixels and a 96 DPI. That's what's being used. And so I got a San Diego hero image that is the same size. So it's just going to look good, but you can do other sizes if you want. Now, where is this hero image inserted? If I go back into this course topic, and let me turn off the conditions so we can see it a little bit better. Well, it's not inserted here. This is a background. It's a background here that sometimes you'll insert images directly into a template page or directly into a topic. But in this case, we're doing something a little fancier. We have it in our style sheet, and it's linking from there. And so just do a little bit of detective work, and I go, okay, what styles are being used here? And I always look. You can look in the text editor if you get brave enough, and you can see them in here, but you can also just hover over these structure bars. You can see I've got my H1, that's for this heading here in this page, and I've got div, and the div says class topic hero. So really, we haven't gotten into styles a whole lot. There's a lot to learn about styles, but this is what's called a class. So div is the main style, and it's a container. And then we go, okay, what kind of container? So we created a special style class, and we named it topic hero. That tells me where this background image is probably set, because when I select that, you can see that it lines up the height and everything, that it's in there. So I'm going to go into my style sheet and open this up, and I am going to go up to div and open this up, and I scroll down and I go topic hero. Sure enough, it shows me a preview. There's my image. Well, where's that set? Okay, background. There it is, my background image. And so all I need to do is click this little ellipsis button right here and go find my hero image, select that, click OK, and it swaps it out. There it is. So now if I go back to my course title, it's using that background image instead. Okay, cool. We did that. We did the hero image. What about brand colors? So the brand colors can make an appearance in different places, but typically it's in your skins, which we looked at already, and in your style sheet. Now, in this particular style sheet, so there's all these possible styles over on the left, and you're like, well, where's this set? Where's this color set? Because there are actually a couple of brand colors. There's that blue, and then there's a lighter blue in this project template. And the cool thing about Flare is it uses something called style variables. I mentioned before in an earlier video about variables are one of the things that's used for single sourcing. And this is a kind of variable. It's a style variable. We're going to get into other variables, the main kinds of variables in another video, but this is really, really cool. Select this, open this up, and there's this, it's at the root, this root thing. You select that. Now, there are different ways to manipulate what's shown over here. And one of the ways that you can see things is through this group view, where it's just organized according to, font, background, all these categories. Plus, you could tell it to show all properties, or you could say, hey, only show the stuff that's already set. Don't show me every possible thing, or show me like assorted relevant properties, which is, these are the things that MadCap software thinks you're most likely going to want to change for this thing. Well, I can easily narrow this down by selecting that. Just show me stuff that's already set. All right, so that's set. And I could actually change this group view to alphabetical view like that. All of a sudden, all right, I'm seeing some stuff. So these are variables. What this means is there are lots of styles where colors are set on things. Well, I could go take a lot of time to go look through all this stuff. Probably the better way is to open up the style sheet in a text editor and find it that way. But variables make this really easy because it's right there. So everywhere that blue is, I want to change it to orange. So I'm just going to go grab that hex number that I had before, and I could click this button right here, and it'll also give me these properties and stuff. I could choose my color that way, but I could just click in here and paste my new one. There's my orange. Now, I also have a second brand color. Instead of light blue, I decided I want to use a light orange, and I've got a different hex number for that. I'm going to go plug this in here, and there it is, real light orange. But that's it. And now everywhere in this style sheet where that's pointing, every style that's pointing to this brand one variable or the brand two variable, the colors are changed. So it's kind of like magic. And I'm going to save that. That's going to do a lot for us right there. Now, sometimes there are little places where, okay, I set the color here or there, and maybe I didn't get it all, like in the skins. I just missed something. Well, that's why I will build the output, and which we're going to get to in another video, and you preview and you go, what looks right, what doesn't look right, and then you go back and you fix it, and then you get it. But I think we got it all. So there we go. So that is design for content. Change the logo, we change the hero images, change the brand colors, tons of other things that we could change, but we're not going to. And the other thing to mention is these project templates, the built-in ones, come with this template instructions PDF. And this gives you the instructions for what we just did. It tells you how to change your logo, how to change your hero image or other images and your colors. Well, we've done that. So now you can, when you feel confident that you've got everything, you can just delete that thing and it's no longer in your project. All right, so that's that section. We got one more section left in this video where we're going to take a quick look at the main skins versus skinless. All right, last part of this video, I want to just go over main skins with you because some of you might want to use a main skin for your e-learning content. The project templates that we have built into Flare are skinless, so they don't have those. but just in case you want to, I'm going to show you this and show you how, if you have a main skin and then you decide, you change your mind, you go, no, I don't want that stuff, how you easily get rid of it. So what I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to create a new project based on one of these other templates to show you. I'm going to click new project just to show you what it could look like. And I'm just going to leave that stuff set like that. And I am going to select this online side navigation. Now there's three main types of skins. There's side navigation like this one. There's top navigation, the navigation's on the top, and there's tri-pane. That's more of an old school kind of thing. And so it's split up into these frames. And it's not bad, it's just that it's older. So most people prefer either side navigation or top navigation. So the side navigation, it can be either on the left side or the right side. And the top navigation is just at the top. And I'm going to select side navigation. That seems to be the most popular one for, I think, for most people. And select next and finish. And now I'm going to quickly build this output just so that you can see what it looks like. There we go. And so this is what this template looks like. And you can see this is the TOC over here, which we just call this main menu. And you get the search bar. So if you wanted to use this, you could. And you could just go into that project and you could change out the topics and insert the question sections. And you could create you got your template page, and you could put in your e-learning proxy for the toolbar. You could do all of that. And then your content would just show up in this space, but people could navigate here and they could go into search. So that is one thing that you could do. All right. Now, let's say that you do this and you change your mind and you go, yeah, I like some of this, but I don't want this navigation on the left. I don't want the search bar. Here's a quick and easy way to sort of go skinless. You're not truly going skinless because you're still going to have the skin in there, the main skin in there, but it's going to look skinless. So you go into here and see this project is different from the other one. I just have this one main skin. And if I double click this, you're going to see, all right, this has, notice it's got a whole bunch more styles than the other one, because this is a main skin. This is a big one. But you go to this setup tab and you got your choice here, main menu position, and this little preview shows you, we're talking about this thing. Either it's here on the left or it's on the right, or you could actually put it on the top and it becomes a top navigation, but you could select none and it goes away. And then the slide out position, because when this thing gets to a certain size, like it's for a tablet, you get this slide out menu so people could still get to it there. And so what you do is in the slide out position, you select none, and that goes away in the preview. So now I've got I don't have that. And I'm going to save. Now the search bar, where's the search bar? Well, that's in styles. And again, you can use your highlight button to find it. Click on that. There's the search. Okay. That's the search input. I clicked inside. So it's actually this search bar above it. And you select layout and you say none, and it goes away. All right. So you'll just end up with this header with your logo, and that's it. So that's a quick way to get kind of the look that we have in the other template. If you wanted to get rid of the header too, you could go into header, layout, display, none, and now that's gone. I'm going to undo that. So that is a quick way to go to have a sort of skinless look. And if I generate the output again, you'll see how that has changed. And maybe you're looking at that going, well, that seems really simple. Why didn't you do that in the other project? So you can see, all right, I got my header here, and then this, and then you rely on other stuff for navigation. You rely on that toolbar or whatever. Well, in our original project, which is this one right here, remember, I I don't have that big main skin in here. I just have these two skin components. And I used this system of these template pages in order to provide this heading up here and put my my logo in there. And you're thinking, well, that seems harder than what you just showed me with the skin. And it is actually, it's more steps. I'll tell you the one reason why I did it this way. And that is, if we go back to the original output for the course, I might be giving you more information than you really want, but I always feel inclined to give more information than not enough. I'm going to go in till I get to this feature right here, this pop-up feature. This is called a topic pop-up right here. And I really wanted to include this in the project template because it's a cool thing and people might want to use this. The problem is this particular feature, the topic pop-up, is not supported for side navigation and top navigation skins. So I would either have to use the tri-pane, the old tri-pane skin, or do this other skinless thing. That's why I did it. So in this project, instead of having that main skin in here, what I did was I went into my targets. All right. And we're going to talk about targets here in another, maybe in the next video or the one after that. And I went into the skin tab and I told it none. I don't want a skin. That's what I did. And I used the template pages. So that is maybe more information than you wanted to know about this, but I'd rather give you too much and have you go, yeah, I just want to get to this end of this video. I'd rather have you do that than say, I wonder why he did this or how do you do that? So I just wanted to give you that, all of that stuff in there, all that extra information. Now you know. All right. So that is going to do it for this video on navigation and design for e-learning. And in the next one, the next video, we are going to get into the targets. So we're getting closer and closer to the end. We're almost there.